Hello! Our topic today is reported speech, косвенная речь. Our plan is to discuss the difference between direct speech and reported speech. Мы поговорим о разнице между прямой речью и косвенной речью. Then we'll speak about verbs that introduce reported speech. Then we will speak about reporting statements and reporting questions of someone and reporting requests and orders. We'll also speak about how to use modal verbs in reported speech. Let's start with the difference between these two things. The direct speech is the exact words that someone said. For example, I want to learn Japanese. Yes, this is the direct speech. And in reported speech, we report to someone about what someone else said. Yes, Mary said she wanted to learn Japanese. What is the strategy of reporting statements? Для начала мы поговорим с вами о том, как использовать какие-то утверждения в косвенной речи. И у нас есть какая-то особая стратегия. First, you think of an introductory verb. Вы думаете, какой глагол вводный вы будете использовать. Then you change the tense of the sentence. Затем вам нужно будет обязательно поменять время на другое. Да? Мы используем не то время, которое было в прямой речи. And then change the pronouns and time expressions. Мы меняем все местоимения и выражения, которые обозначают время. Let's start with introductory verbs. The first introductory verb is say. For example, she said she was happy. Or she said to me she was happy. Or she said to call her. Tell. We usually tell somebody. So, she told me that she was very happy. And the last verb is ask. She asked me to call her. Now, which tenses can we use in reported speech? Как я уже сказала, мы всегда будем заменять время, и чаще всего мы будем использовать то время, которое стоит за тем временем, которое в прямой речи. Например, если мы используем настоящее время, мы будем использовать в косвенной речи прошедшее время. So, present simple. We use in the direct speech, we say, I want to learn Japanese. And in the reported speech, we will say, she said she wanted to learn Japanese. Да, мы идем на одно время назад. Здесь был глагол want в настоящем времени, в косвенной речи wanted, прошедшее время. If in the direct speech we have present continuous, then in the reported speech you will have past continuous. We are watching. She said they were watching. If in the direct speech you have present perfect, then in the reported you will have past perfect. I have brushed my teeth. She said she had brushed her teeth. Past simple we change into either past simple or past perfect. I brushed my teeth, or she said she had brushed her teeth. Past continuous changes to past continuous or perfect continuous. He was playing. She said he had been playing. Future simple changes into future in the past. So we use would instead of will. We'll meet you. She said they would meet me at the station. Sometimes we don't change the tense. When? When the introductory verb is in the present, future, or present perfect. For example, we say not she said, but she says. So we use the present tense, then we don't change the tense of the sentence. Or the speaker expresses general truth or a permanent state. For example, she said that the water boils at 100 degrees. I use the present simple because it is a general truth. Or the reported sentence includes some conditionals or unreal past. One more reason, the speaker is reporting something immediately after it was said. For example, someone has told me something right now, and now I am reporting it. So I don't change the tense. Now, I've also told you that we change some pronouns in the reported speech. For example, if the pronouns used are in the direct speech are I and my, for example, Mary said, I've passed my exams, we change them into she or he, and my we change into her and him. So Mary said that she had passed her exams. If we use the pronouns we or our in the direct speech, we change them into they and their. They said, we've passed our exams, so they said they had passed their exams. We also change some time expressions. The word now we change into then or immediately. The word today we change into that day. Yesterday we change to the day before or the previous day. Tomorrow, the next day, the following day. This week, that week. Last week we changed into the week before, the previous week. Next week, the week after, the following week. Ago we changed into before. Here, there. Let's look at some examples. For example, in the direct speech we have the phrase I bought it yesterday, and we reported. She said she had bought it the day before. Да, почему мы меняем это слово? Почему так происходит? Потому что если она мне сказала о чем-то позавчера, и позавчера она мне сказала, что я купила это вчера, значит, для сегодняшнего дня это будет уже не вчера, это будет 3 дня назад. Да, и можно сказать, что вот позавчера она мне сказала, что она купила это за день до того, как мне сказала. So, the day before. I'm flying to London next week. She said she was flying to London the following week. То есть мы видим, что мы поменяли, во-первых, время, поменяли местоимение и поменяли фразу, которая обозначает время. And now, questions. Как мы можем использовать вопросы, передавать вопросы в косвенной речи? First, we have reported questions, это вопросы в косвенной речи, and we have indirect questions, это непрямые вопросы, тоже одна из разновидностей косвенных вопросов. What is the strategy we use when we report questions? First, we choose an introductory verb. Then, we find out the type of the question. Then, we choose if and whether. If and whether we use with general questions, or we can use a question word, and a question word is used with specific questions. Then we change the tense of the question, and we use the direct order of the sentence, and we don't use the question mark. Что нам стоит обратить внимание? Да? Предложение в косвенной речи будет зависеть от того, какой вопрос мы задаем. Это вопрос, на который можем ответить «да», «нет», или это вопрос, который требует конкретного ответа. Также нам нужно обратить внимание, что мы также будем менять время предложения. То есть, если у нас вопрос в настоящем времени, в косвенной речи он будет в прошедшем. И обратите внимание, что мы используем прямой порядок слов, то есть такой порядок слов, который есть в утверждениях, а не в вопросах. И не используем никакого вопросительного знака. Which introductory verbs can we use? These are verbs ask, inquire, wonder, and want to know. And now let's speak about types of questions. Давайте подробнее поговорим о типах вопросов, какие они существуют. These are general questions. For example, do you know him? These questions can be answered with yes or no. And we also have special questions. Special questions always start with a question word. What do you know about him? When we report a general question, so a question that is answered with yes or no, we use such words as if or whether. For example, Mike asked, do you know him? Обратите внимание, вопрос у нас в настоящем времени. Соответственно, в косвенной речи мы будем использовать прошедшее время, да, и одно из слов-связок, if или whether. So, Mike asked me if I knew that man. То есть в косвенной речи мы используем, во-первых, прошедшее время, мы используем прямой порядок слов I knew, да, и используем слово if. One more example. Mary, do you need help? So Mary wanted to know whether I needed help. Мы также поменяли время, порядок слов и использовали слово whether. Now, how do we report a special question? We use a question word to connect two parts. For example, Mike asked, what do you know about him? So Mike asked me what I knew about that man. Также прямой порядок слов, меняем время и используем вопросительное слово для связи двух частей предложения в косвенной речи. Mary, where did you stay? Mary wanted to know where I had stayed. Now, how do we ask indirect questions? Один особый тип косвенных вопросов – это вот такие вот непрямые вопросы. Например, такие вопросы. Не знаете ли вы где? Не могли бы вы мне сказать что? So what is the strategy of these questions? First, you choose an introductory phrase. Then you find out the type of the question, a general or a specific. Then you choose either if or whether, or a question word. Then you use the direct order of the sentence. So pay attention. You don't change the tense of the question. So, how can we ask for some advice or information? We can start our question with, could you tell me? Or, do you know? I wonder. I want to know. I doubt. Я сомневаюсь. Let's look at some examples. Where is the library? This is the direct question. And an indirect question. Do you know where the library is? Время мы никак не поменяли, но мы использовали здесь уже прямой порядок слов. Do we need to buy a ticket? I want to know if we need to buy a ticket. Следующая подтема – это тогда, когда мы в косвенной речи передаем какие-то приказы, команды или просьбы. So, reported commands, requests and suggestions. We can use such verbs as advise somebody to do something or not to do something, ask somebody, beg somebody, tell somebody, suggest somebody. Let's look at some examples. See a doctor, she said. She advised me to see a doctor. Or let's watch a film. So he suggested me watching a film. Don't tell anyone my secret. She begged me not to tell anyone her secret. То есть обратите внимание, что после некоторых глаголов используется инфинитив to see, а после других глаголов используется герундий. He suggested me watching. Да, то есть вам нужно запомнить, какую форму глагола нужно в каждом случае использовать. Okay, then sometimes in the direct phrases we have some modal verbs. Как же мы поговорили с вами о том, как передавать времена различные в косвенной речи, а то, как передавать модальные глаголы, будут ли они как-то меняться. Let's look. First, which modal verbs do we have? These are the verbs will. We will change it into would. Can't will be changed into couldn't. Can, would be able to. May, might. Shall, if we ask for some information, will change into would. Shall, used as an advice, will be changed into should. Shall, used as an offer, shall we do something, will be changed into offered. Then let's look at some other verbs. Verb must, as an obligation, will be changed into had to. Verb must, used as a deduction verb, will be changed into must. Needn't, in the present, will be changed into didn't need to or didn't have to. Needn't, to speak about the future, will be changed into wouldn't have to. Should will be changed into should. We don't change anything. Let's look at some examples. He said, shall I give you a hand? So we see here we have the modal verb shall, and it is used in the sense of offering. He offered to give me a hand. We can visit you soon. So he said they would be able to visit me soon. You must send him an email. Here we have the verb must in the sense of obligation. So she said I had to send him an email. So today we've discussed the difference between direct speech and reported speech and the main rules of forming reported speech statements, questions and comments and so on. So see you next lesson.